Aykut, do you remember 20 years ago when we were going to the projects? We were asking each other which pen the client is using.
Yeah, it was interesting times back then, right?
Yeah.
We were only supposed to use blue pens only.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
we were not supposed to use black pens. Yeah, that was weird.
Exactly, I remember in some clients when we were scanning the pages, the blue pens were completely invisible in the scanned copies. So they were saying like we need to use the black pen too. So yeah, I mean we were discussing about pens 20 years ago, but then throughout the years the industry has evolved, and recently we are asking a different question nowadays when we go to the clients for validation activities.
I guess actually we don't need the paper and pen, but we can do the stuff electronically.
So far for the last 20 years and even before, the validation activities were mostly document centric. So they were having the documents as an input and they were providing outputs as document again.
Yeah, that's true. A lot of companies are using QMS systems or document management systems, and they are managing their documentation online. But we can take this further, I think. We can use data instead of documents.
That we need to move towards data-driven approach.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, if you are using a data-driven tool, then basically you need to have AI in mind, right?
Yeah, of course. Like with the advancement of AI at the moment, it's always a better idea to use AI in the systems and like take advantage of it. FDA just published an AI guidance that like we always need to keep the human in loop. What do you think about that?
Well, I completely agree. But then the human in the loop principle should not prevent all the validation activities to be done by AI also. So you need to have a good balance in between, because yes, I mean the responsibility lies with the end user. Completely agree with that, and it has to be like that. I mean FDA, EMA, European Medical Agency, they are all conveying the same message. We all agree. I mean,
of
yes,
course,
it has to be like that. That's true. But at the same time, well, this should not be a discourage to use AI functionalities. So you need to find a good balance in between so that you leverage AI functionalities at most, but at the same time leaving the responsibility with the end user.
Yeah, I totally agree. We need to take as much advantage as we can from the AI, and because like AI can compute much faster than a human can. So yeah, AI can always advise you what to do, but it doesn't have to mean that like AI is going to do the whole thing.
Yeah, and also the best thing is AI never gets tired, never upset, never complaining.
Yeah.
So you can rely on AI saying, okay, do this job, and then you know that it's going to do it.
Yeah.
Nowadays, the industry is moving, all the softwares, all the SaaS platforms, they are moving towards providing a feature which is allowing the users, the companies, the clients to export their configuration packages, right?
Yeah.
Because, well, you need multiple instances. Maybe you need to have one quality instance to test the system before you use it for the production environment whatsoever. So whatever the reason it is, so they are providing the configuration packages to the clients. And these packages, well, easily you can read the content with AI and compare two configuration packages. And if you teach AI properly, then you can get the most out of it, saying, okay, what has been changed since last time?
Do you remember the times that we used to spend like weeks on testing during ERP implementations? And just imagine like with the AI, now we can automate all the testing, and like we can just do the testing in a couple of days actually.
Well, it requires a mind shifting as well. So you need to change the way how you look at the validation, because with the old approach, well, it's not going to work out. And well, this is known, and this is also being discussed widely in the industry. In the past, we were calling it CSV, the Computerized System Validation. And nowadays, a new concept is arising, which is CSA, the Computer System Assurance. So it's, well, even the name is shifting. Okay, the concept is maybe different, but still, I mean, you need to do the validation, fine, in a different way. A new concept, a new methodology of applying validation needs to be discussed
Yeah.
in the industry.
Well, as you know, FTA just published a CSA guidance, like moving from CSV to CSA, moving from computerized system validation to computer software assurance.
Yep.
But I still believe that they are way behind of the technology, that like we need to leverage AI capabilities as much as possible. Maybe we already need a new guidance.
Well, that's true. I mean, CSA is fine, but then how to apply it really, or how to use the AI technology to realize it, well, it's a different question. So that's why we come up with a new concept called ANVI, which is AI Native Validation Infrastructure. We were doing the validation activities as a one-time activity with all the documents, isolated information, and so on. So nowadays it should be on a continuous basis.
Yeah, it's a perfect world, isn't it? So, like, just imagine the AI is preparing all those scripts or tests for you. You just need to just go through it, just confirm that they are fine for you, and just continue with your life.
Yep, exactly. And then with this infrastructure, basically what you can also do is, if AI is doing all these tasks, so the user input is going to be minimal. So it's going to trigger the change request. It is going to come up with the recommendations and everything. The user is just going to review the results and confirm and accept the results or reject the results and even modify the results, and saying that, okay, whatever is there done by AI, we accept it. So the responsibility still lies with the user, which is the FDA and European Medical Agency, and all other health authorities are mandating the human in the loop principle must be there.
Yeah, so we can say envy is the future.
Yep.
And the future is now. Yeah.
Exactly. You remember when we started working together?
Yeah.
We were traveling a lot around the world. And
always
before,
with our blue pens.
always with our blue pens, yes.
Yeah.
We were asking which pen should we take with us, right?
Yeah.
That was the most painful times, maybe.
So the black pens were not allowed because when you scan the document, you wouldn't know if it was written with a pen or if it was just scanned.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, exactly. I mean, you remember we were doing a project together 20 years ago, and then we have scanned over 300 documents, and well, let's say 10 pages of each ends up with thousands of pages. And then what did we realize?
Yeah, the blue pen wouldn't appear on scanners.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe the new generation guys wouldn't know it, but I mean, the all technology printers and scanners, well, they were not recognizing the blue one. And we realized it only after scanning thousands of pages. And then they all ended up with empty pages.
Yeah, those were the days, huh?
Yeah.
In my opinion, the most painful times during the implementations were the testing for me. Because it would take weeks, like sleepless nights. What do you think?
If you are applying validation and if you are handling and managing the validation activities, it's not only painful for the tester, it's painful for the quality people as well. You need to review thousands of pages, right?
Yeah.
And well, there are a lot of stuff which can be done easily by AI. For example, the sanity checks, the page numbers, the headers, footers, I mean, this information, that information, well, the date on the screenshots, I mean, all of this stuff, we went through this pain many times before. Imagine we have 500 tests and with a group of 50 people, then it would easily take a couple of months to execute all of them properly. And yet, you are not really having a certain degree of assurance whether the system is configured properly or not, because you are spending so much of time on the manual activities, which you can spend this time for the critical tasks or testing the system from that perspective.
Yeah, now with the AI's computing ability, now we can do that over a weekend, I believe.
True. Yeah. And also what you can do is, well, what we are doing is you have a variety of scenarios that you can test. But as you have limited resources, what you do is you focus on the critical ones only. But if you are using automated testing with AI, for instance, well, you can pretty much test any scenario that you want, and then you can do it on a regular basis.
Yeah, the computerized system implementations in life sciences industry is always a pain because of the validation. Because when you do those implementations in another industry, it moves much faster. But life sciences industry, the heavy documentation makes it much slower. So using AI in those industries will take the burden a lot from the people's shoulders, I think.
In the past, it was computerized system validation, and nowadays we have a new concept of computer software assurance. So even the concept is changing. So that's why I think the way how you approach the validation needs to also evolve. And from that perspective, yes, I mean, a new infrastructure is required, and let's call it AI native infrastructure. The industry is moving from computerized system validation to computer software assurance. So the new concept is changing. That's why I think the way how you approach the validation needs to evolve as well. And this is going to, I think, move in the direction of using AI capabilities as well. That's why I think the AI native validation infrastructure is getting more and more important. And also when it comes to the regression testing and so on, so you cannot do the regression testing every month, for instance. Maybe in a year, maybe every 2 years you can do it, yes, but it also requires a lot of effort. So if you have an AI native infrastructure, basically, you can get the export packages, configuration packages from the softwares, and AI can immediately trigger the change request, identify what is new, come up with new test scripts and so on. And once the user confirms that everything is fine, basically it is going to even do the testing on behalf of the user.
That'd be great, wouldn't it? Yeah. With the new CSA guidance that FDA released, the testing requirements significantly decreased. So we used to spend so much time on testing with the computerized system validation, but now thanks to CSA, we can only test the critical scenarios rather than testing all the requirements. But I don't think it's still enough though. So we can still reduce the testing efforts significantly. What do you think about that?
Well, I agree. I mean, the mindset needs to shift. We all agree with that. And this new CSA approach, well, it is very fancy. Everybody likes it. Me too. But then how to really apply it in the industry, this is something I believe we still need to work on. I mean, what you can do is you can get all these export packages from the SaaS solutions, the other softwares, where they say, okay, the configuration package has changed from this to that. And you can teach AI, you can tell AI that, okay, this was it before, and now it is like this. And then AI can easily identify and understand what is different between those two versions. And it can even come up with the recommendations saying, okay, these design items, these test scripts needs to be done on top of what has been done before. And by using automated testing AI capabilities, basically you can click one button and get hundreds of tests executed by AI. So you can get the results over the weekend.
Yeah, that'd be great. A human in the loop principle need to be followed.
Well, yeah. True. I mean, a human in the loop principle must be there because a person needs to review all these AI outputs. Why? Because the responsibility is not being transferred if you are using AI functionalities. It is still relying and it is still with the responsible person who is executing the task. What we are trying to do at the moment is we are trying to minimize the user input. And while we are minimizing the user input, we are at the same time trying to maximize the AI capabilities of our platform.
Yeah, that's great.